Good morning everybody and welcome back to another video. So I just want to apologize if this video is a little bit later than usual. I would have uploaded it around about Monday, but I've got a week off from work now, and it's been 3 birthdays in a row, and obviously I wanted to celebrate that. So I'm just going to get into my quick post-match reaction, which was against Southampton versus Leeds United at the St Mary's Stadium, and Leeds United was in numbers, full numbers again, like they always do. And this weather, what I have been doing, has been unbelievably warm, hasn't it? Like, I think that's why a lot of the teams are having like these water breaks and everything, and I feel like it's very, very important when it comes to like these type of like games. Like, it has to be included, because if they don't, like, as we'll get into the video, if they don't make any crucial changes to the game, then it can cost us, and like exactly what happened against Southampton at the weekend. So the formation was pretty much at the start of last week, where Southampton played the 5-3-2 and Leeds United played the 4-2-3-1 formation. So both teams started out with the same starting formation as they did last week, and Leeds United had the same 11, but Southampton made 4 changes. And when I was watching the game, the opening 10 minutes was quite poor from both teams. Like, there was no stability, there was no calmness. It was very rushed from both teams. Everyone was panicking. It was such a frantic style of game, and the pace was it was too fast. There was no calmness about the game. No one could control the game properly, and I feel like that's why it was very stressful and very tedious to watch. But the quality from both teams in the first opening 10 to 20 minutes was actually quite poor. And then I'm going to get onto a decision which I was quite afraid of, to be fair, because it's like, I don't understand how Llorente only managed to just get a yellow card for that. But as you saw, if you watched it on Match of the Day, you would have known that one of the Southampton strikers was running through. I can't remember what player it was, but Llorente took him out from behind and went to VAR and just got away with a yellow card. I don't specifically know how he got a yellow card, because if he wasn't the last man, then fair enough, but I don't know if he was or wasn't the last man, but excuse me. But I don't know. But I mean, it was good play by Southampton, and as Llorente always does, he always like lunges in and everything, and he's very erratic at the back, isn't he? Like, he just lunges into challenges all the time. He doesn't really think. He's a very old school type of defender, and my opinion on Llorente is, like, personally I do think he's a good defender, but he's not very good when it comes to when he's under pressure, you know. So when he's making all these like mistakes and everything, it's making us very shaky at the back, and when it comes to other teams attacking, it's very nervous as a Leeds fan to watch this, you know. And personally, I feel like Koch and Struijk would be the better partnership at the back, but I guess we need a left back for Struijk to go back into centre back. Whether we're going to sign a left back this window or not, I don't know, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And another thing is as well, like, Leeds United were caught too high on the high press. Like, I understand that's part of the system, but Leeds United was caught out so many times on the high line, and that gave Southampton the opportunity to try and counter-attack us. Fair enough, Southampton was poor, very poor in the first half, but if you come up against a team like Chelsea or Manchester City or even Liverpool, who have deadly attackers and wingers who can bring that extreme fast counter-attack against a team who are playing a high press, like you saw against Crystal Palace, against Liverpool, they sat back and they countered, and they went 1-0 up against Liverpool. And it's exactly the same thing what Leeds United do with other teams. They play that high press and they get caught on a counter-attack, and personally I don't really like it. I know it's part of the system, but Leeds are going to be caught out so many times, and we're going to concede so many goals from that. So when it came to almost the end of the first half, Leeds United had maybe one proper good opportunity, which was when Jack Harrison went down the left, passed it down the left to Dan James, and then Dan James shot, and it was a good save by Bazunu. I think that's how you call it. And that was pretty much the best opportunity from Leeds United in the first half. So the first half was really poor, 0-0. And the sad news is that Patrick Bamford yet again has come off injured. So what he's done is he has pulled a groin. I don't know how bad it is until Jesse Marsh comes out in a press conference and tells us about it, but I know it was something to do with his groin. But he was walking off okay, so hopefully it's nothing too serious. But I guess towards the end of the first half, Leeds United did pick up the tempo. They controlled the game a little bit more, but it was a very poor display from both sides. Second half began, Leeds United went 1-0 up, and yet again that man, Rodrigo, good build-up play on the left-hand side. Stroik crosses it but gets cleared, then comes back out to Leeds. I think the ball lands to Jack Harrison. Jack Harrison whips in a fast ball into the front post, and then there is Rodrigo. Perfect timing, slots it away, and makes it 1-0. And Leeds did deserve it, especially in the second half with how they played. Within 30 seconds, I think Leeds United scored to make it 1-0, and it was such a positive second half after that first goal went in. Leeds United controlled the game better, they pressed more, they didn't really allow Southampton really to play, which was very impressive compared to the first half. But excuse me, but I was very, very impressed. But I still was very cautious about the high line. I've always been cautious about it, and I've always said that. And then afterwards, that confidence kind of went away with the high line, because then Leeds United went up and scored another goal with Rodrigo again. Harrison corner, strike, heads it to the back post. I honestly think by watching the highlights, that the strike's header was actually going to go in, but maybe I don't know. But then Rodrigo was there in again to tap in maybe a 3-yard header to make it 2-0 Leeds United. And Southampton just wouldn't learn from their mistakes. Every time Leeds United had a corner, they would always nip to that front post, and sometimes it wouldn't work, sometimes it would, sometimes Leeds would miss, and then this time Leeds United did score from the corner, and Southampton never learned from that, and they continuously made mistakes when it came to the defensive man-marking system, the zonal system, when it came to the corners against Leeds. So I honestly thought that was going to be it. I thought we was going to win 2-0, but then after the 2-0 goal deficit against Southampton, I'm making no sense, sorry, I'm just literally woken up. They changed their formation. They went to a back four, and then this is where the problems started for Leeds. They exploited Leeds massively on the wings, and I feel like that's what a lot of teams are going to do, because it works so easy. You saw it against Wolverhampton Wanderers within the first 20 minutes of the game, and then you saw it against Southampton. They was destroying us left, right and centre, especially down the wide-hand side, wide on the wings, and every team's going to exploit that. Leeds were massively exposed on the wings, and with this new system, every player, when it comes to the defending, especially Rasmus and Stroik, especially down that wing, are going to be playing 1v1s. If you saw in the Bielsa system, every time a man would be back in defence, they would always double up. Whereas in this system, yes, on the other side of the pitches, Leeds do double up or triple up on a player, but when it comes to the wingers, the centre-backs can't really cover the wingers because they need to stay central. So the right wing-backs have to... they have to defend one-on-one, and a lot of the time that's going to be a problem, especially like if you come against Chelsea at the weekend on Sunday, like Reece James. If I think it's will be Strike, I think it's right wing back, yeah, left wing back. So if Strike is against Reece James and they overload, and what's that going to leave us? We're going to be exposed again on the wings, and the same with Christensen. But anyway, Southampton got a goal back. It was brilliant play by Southampton, actually. It brings on Adam Armstrong. He was impressive in the second half when he came on. And then Aribo came on. Armstrong chests it down, runs near towards the box, passes it to Aribo. And I don't know how Meslier doesn't even get a touch on the ball with how close he was to Aribo. Anyway, Aribo somehow manages to keep the ball and then slots it in past two Leeds United defenders from like pretty much the penalty spot. And I just thought to myself, how did Leeds not, like, there was three men, there was the goalkeeper and two guys on the line, and they still didn't manage to clear it. So very frustrated. And then 2-2 came. Peters picks up the ball and then passes to Aribo, and this pass was unbelievable. Honestly, unbelievable. Jesse Marsh had blamed Jack Harrison for this, and it wasn't anything to do with Jack Harrison. Like, Jack Harrison was pretty much the best player on that pitch, yes, on the weekend, and Leeds did play very well, and we did play very good football, especially in the second half. But this pass, man, was unbelievable. And it was pretty much I don't know how he did it. It was like a reverse through ball, and it was literally, it split the defence in half, and he went, I think it was Jack Harrison, and then there was Llorente, I think. Oh, and it just went straight through the middle of them, and I was just like, wow. And then when the goal went in, I was just like, wow, I can't believe it. It was disappointing, man. It was honestly disappointing to see a 2-0 goal deficit, and then we lose it with like 20 minutes to go. But that is Jesse Marsh's fault, because Southampton brought changes on, we didn't. Why? We have 5 substitutions. Why can we not bring on at least one player, 2 players to make that defence more solid? We could have gone back to maybe a back 6, like, or back 5, back 6. You know, he said that he went back to a back 5, but it didn't work, did it? So with the heat and everything, it was like 30 degrees at the weekend, and why did he not make any substitution? He could have brought in 5 new players onto the field, 5 new players, and he could have all just been like defensive-minded players. It doesn't matter if we 2-0 up when we 20 minutes left. Defend. That's what he was brought in for anyway, to help us solidify that defence. And he's made a mistake. He blames Jack Harrison for it, and he's not taking responsibility for his mistake. So, how can all these Leeds fans side with Jesse Marsh and be like, oh yeah, well, he did make a mistake, and oh well, it was one of them things, and blah blah blah. But that's not the case. He made the mistake. He didn't change the players. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. Southampton, as soon as they changed formation, they dominated us, and that was it. 2-2, end of the game. And I was frustrated, honestly, really frustrated. But anyway, guys, that is a quick little video. Hope you did enjoy. Smash a like, subscribe. Peace.